This is going to be a bit of a tough video for me to make. Obviously it is Mental Awareness Week this week, so this is a video that I've wanted to make for a few months now, but I've never been able to gather the courage or the strength to actually sit down and talk about it really. But I mean, I guess there's no better time to make it than now, I suppose. But as the title of the video is, this is basically going to be a video of me sharing my experience with depression, and this is for no benefit of myself at all. This is purely to share my experience with people and to obviously let people know who are going through it right now that they're not alone. There are other people that are going through it right now. There are people that have been through it in the past, and that there are people out there who are willing to help, who will help, and will do anything they can to help. And that there are obviously people out there that can relate to those people on any level when it comes to dealing and fighting this illness. And there are a lot of people in this world that don't see depression as an illness. There are a lot of people that tell people who have depression to smile more, to just get over it, to just put a smile on their face and be happy. And in my mind, there's no getting over depression. There's no getting over depression. You know, it is an illness, and it's not something that can be caught, but it's not something that can be cured either. There's medication, you know, there's antidepressants, but they're only there to help you get through it a little bit easier. But to deal with depression it's not something that can be imagined. You can't imagine what depression feels like unless you have it. It is a killer, and there are people out there who have dealt with depression and tried to fight it, and unfortunately some people have failed in trying to battle it, and they have taken their own life. And I knew this was going to be a video that was going to be hard, and having to take myself back to everything that I experienced and went through. But I need to make this video, and I wanna get the message out there. You know, I don't think enough care and attention and thought is put into this illness, and people need to start taking it a lot more serious, and they need to realise that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's not an illness where you're coughing, you're throwing up, you're sneezing. It's an illness that destroys you on the inside, but it's also an illness that can't be shown or spoke about because people are scared of being judged because they have it. I was one of those people. I was so scared to admit that I had depression that I kept it hidden from people, even at work. I would put a front on. I would force a smile. If people asked me if I was okay, I would say I was fine, and I was not. I was dying on the inside, but I was too scared to show it or admit it because I didn't want people to think bad of me or to judge me for having it. And I don't know if people who know me are going to be watching this, but for the people who don't know me, my name's Joe Borman and I'm 22 years old. My experience with depression first started when I was 16 years old, when my parents got divorced. They got divorced in the summer of 2012, and in September of that year I moved into the final year of my A-levels, and unfortunately 2 or 3 months into that I was kicked out, so I never got to complete my A-levels. when I turned 17, that was when I really started to evaluate my life and how I wanted it to go, because I'd had it quite easy growing up in terms of work and money. You know, it was all there available for me, and I took that for granted. And I sometimes think back now that I kind of wish it would have been a bit harder for me, because then maybe dealing with the hard bits might have been a little bit easier for me. But at 17, I really started to evaluate my life and how I wanted it to go. And I kept drawing blanks. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what profession I wanted to go into, what career I wanted. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know why I wanted it and why I wanted to get there. I just didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what to do with myself. I never had much confidence when I was younger, especially around 15, 16. I was never a very confident person. That's grown since in the last year or so. In the last couple of years, my confidence has really grown. I don't have a lot of self-esteem. I'm very self-critical. I criticise myself on everything I do. And I'm also an overthinker. I think too much into situations. I can make the smallest situation be the biggest problem in the world. And I knew this was going to be a hard video for me to make, but I need to make it. So depression really hit me when I turned 18, and I'd got my first job at 18, my first proper job anyway, at a company when I was 18, and that's when it really hit me. And it was something that I was never prepared for. Like, I knew I was down, and I knew that I was feeling depressed, but I never thought I would get myself in that position. And I can look back at it now and be grateful that I made it out the other end. And there were many times where I didn't think I would. There were many times that I wanted to give up, and I was tired of trying. I was tired of forcing a smile. I was tired of having a fake outside me. I was tired of faking who I was on the outside and making myself look different to other people than how I actually felt. And to put it plainly, I didn't want to be alive anymore. And I contemplated a lot of stuff. And you know, I had a lot of time off sick from work. You know, I must have had at least 8 or 9 months in total off sick from work, because I felt so worthless. I felt so hopeless. I felt unwanted. I felt unloved. I felt like it was just me. I didn't feel like I had anyone around me who cared. I spent at least 6 months in this room, and I didn't leave this room. The only time I would leave this room is when I went out for a drive in my car for half an hour at 2 or 3 in the morning, because it was quiet and no one was around. If I needed fuel, I couldn't leave the house to get it. My mum had to get it for me. If I needed cigarettes, my mum had to go and get them for me. I did not leave this room. My curtains were pulled. It was dark all day and all night. I did nothing but lay in bed. I did nothing but cry. I did nothing but think. And I did nothing. Wanted this to be over. And I did want it to be over. I got to a point where I didn't want to be alive anymore. I was tired of the life I was living. I was tired of who I was as a person, and I wanted it to end. And it never got where I tried it, but there were plenty of times where I wanted it. And luckily I was able to come out of the other side. And there are things that have happened in the past that have wanted to pull me back down into that hole, but I think now I'm at a stage where I have more control over my feelings and my emotions and how I deal with certain situations. And it's just, depression is not something to be taken lightly at all. It's a soul destroying illness. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's an experience that you never want to have again. And it is hard to talk about, and obviously taking yourself back to that time in your life is difficult, but this is Mental Awareness Week, and I want to share my experience with people. And even if one person watches this who has depression that helps them, that's good enough for me. You know, the help is out there for you. You know, I know how you feel, and it isn't nice, but the help is there for you. There are people that want to help you, that will help you. They will do everything they can to help you, and you will get through this. And to everyone that's ever helped me and supported me in my life and given me the help that I needed, whether it was depression or if I was just having a shit time, you all know who you are, whether you're watching this or not. I just want to say that I love you all beyond words. I can't express the love I have for you. I will be forever grateful to you. I will never forget what you did for me, said to me, and I just want you to know that. And I will probably never be able to repay you the way I want to repay you, but I will never forget what you did for me, and I just want you to know that. And it's I want to get the message out there. I want people to take depression more seriously. I want people that have never had depression to not look at people who are suffering with depression as they're people that aren't wired right. They're people that are mentally unstable, because we're not. We're not mentally unstable at all. And the people that are going through depression right now, they need the help. They deserve the help. And they probably want the help more than you think. And I mean, you know, for people that are watching this video, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, whether you know me or not. And to, you know, to share the video, to get the message out there. You know, I think that would be really helpful, and I would really appreciate that. You know, this is for no benefit of my own. This is not for attention. This is not for sympathy. This is to get the message out there and to share my experience with other people. And I would really appreciate that. And it is a tough thing to deal with, and it will be with me for the rest of my life. It will be something that I have to deal with and remember for the rest of my life. And am I ashamed of having depression? No, I'm not, because it really opens your eyes to what you've got around you, and who you have around you, and how much people actually care about you. And it changes you as a person. It really does. It really changes who you are as a person and how you deal with things in the future anyway. And you know, my family and friends they were so supportive. You know, they gave me all the help they could. They helped me as much as they could. And everyone else, like I said, they all know who they are. I love them all beyond words. And And obviously thank you. You know, I've already said thank you, but I want to say thank you and again, and I will carry on saying thank you until I feel like I've said it enough. And they will always be a part of my life, no matter what. They will always be a part of my life, and I'll always do my best to return the favour to them. But in regards to anyone who might be watching this, or if anyone is watching this who knows someone that is going through it right now, please give them every bit of help you can. If ever they don't want to talk to you, it's not your fault. If ever they go quiet, it's not your fault. Sometimes with depression, sometimes silence is the best treatment, and you don't want to talk to people, you just want to be alone. But that's not always the best thing. You know, you need to talk to someone, you need to get help from someone, and it's out there. You've just got to try and find it, and you'll get better. And yeah, so thank you to anyone who is watching this that has taken time out of their day to watch this video and to share and to spread the message, and has taken the time to listen to me. Yeah, thank you. And if you know anyone that has depression, please help them, because they deserve it. They did nothing wrong to get this. And yeah, thank you.